It's lounge with Christina and Eddie. They're in the right place. Where inspiration meets real conversation. Lounging with Christina and Eddie. Love, laughter, keep it steady. 25 years still vibing strong. Feeling like you finally belong. From relationship gems to real life wins that bring a soul and spirit with every spin. Award-winning voices, storytellers at heart. With Sledge House Media making magic as an art. So unwind up, live, set your week off right. Lit one ghost and shine that light. Lit one ghost and shine that light. With your favorite couple.
What's going on, everyone out there? We are so excited about this show. This is our first podcast. It's called Lounging with Christina and Eddie. I'm Eddie.
And I'm Christina, and this is so cool because this is also a part of our new radio show, which is on WLIT 106 on Sundays from 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern. So you could catch our podcast, which is basically the same show, but the live show has music. So you'll be able to kind of listen to the music that goes with that and still hear the podcast. And we're going to tell you more about us. We are the co-founders of Sledge House Media, Eddie and Christina Sledge. Sledge House Media is a multi-platform entertainment, storytelling agency. We do publishing, we do production, that's film, that's audio, that's video, that's also marketing, promotion. So it's all of those things. And this is an offshoot of our work in the media space. So us having a radio show is a part of that. We're radio personalities, we're authors, we're filmmakers, and now we get to be podcasters. So that is really dope. And we get to share that with you. And our show, what is our show about, Eddie?
So our show is all about inspiration. You know, we want to just give love to everyone that we can. It's nothing negative about this show. We like to inspire people anyway. Me and Christina, so that's a plus for us. Just like the show, this like this podcast. So we talk about every topic that we could talk about, including relationships. So either you're single, you're married, or even family relationships. We talk about it. It doesn't matter. We talk about it all. We've been married for like 25 years, so we definitely gonna drop some gems on you, and you're probably gonna drop gems back on us.
Yeah. And so, like Eddie said, we've been married for 25 years and we started our marriage with a prayer, and that's really been our guiding light. But that came with, me just getting on my knees and asking God to send me the man I'm supposed to be with. And then we were married 3 days later. So we have a great story that you can read more about in our book. It's called The Story of Christina and I. You could get it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, on our website, sledgehousemedia.com. You can also watch our film, which is called Joined by Fate. It's streaming right now. It tells our whole love story and how we got here. And so it's a really great, inspiring story, as Eddie mentioned. So that's a really big part of who we are.
And yeah, and even though we've been happily married, we still go through life's ups and downs every day. So that's part of this podcast too. Like just like our show, we talk about it and we relate to everyone because when you meet us, we exactly who you listening to right now.
Yep, exactly who we are. So you get to learn a little bit more about us in this podcast. What we talk about on the radio show is pretty much the same thing that you're going to hear on podcasts. But in the podcast, we get to have an extended conversation about it. In the radio show, we have to take commercial breaks because, you have to pay bills on a radio show. And, we play music. So that's the bonus of you going to listening to our live show on Sundays on WLIT 106 from 3 to 5. You get to hear the music that goes with this podcast. So that's pretty cool.
So we should let everyone know our segments that we normally do. So our segments, the first one will always be couch recap. That is what we did for the week. To share that with you. Our next one will be question soul Q&A, the question of the week. So every week we put a question out on our social media pages, and then we want y'all to chime in. It's a poll, and you'll give us your thoughts, and we'll say it on the radio, and we also say it on the podcast.
Right. Yeah. So those social media accounts you can follow us on is Sledge House Media on IG, Facebook, also on YouTube, and you'll be able to catch us on our radio show, which is Instagram, which is Lounge and Sundays. So be sure and Lit 106, WLIT 106 Radio, you'll be able to see the poll Q&A question of the week.
And then after that, we'll have standing ovation spotlight where we shine a light on a person, a community, or a company, organization that's doing some outstanding stuff out there in the world that we are aware of.
Right. So, and this week we're going to go ahead and get into the question of the week. And it is, should your partner be your best friend? And that is the question. It came from a New York Times article. And so we thought it would be really good to have that conversation and share it with you. So, in the article, they talked about it being very controversial because some people think it's too much pressure to expect that your partner is going to also be that best friend. So serve that role in addition to, if you live together, you guys sharing the household duties, all of that stuff, or if you have kids, sharing that. But then on top of that, being that emotional support, being that best friend that you do things with, and all of that stuff. So not necessarily only romantic, but just being a friend. So what were your questions about that?
I got two takes on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, my first take is, I don't think your spouse should be your best friend, but they need to be your primary best friend, right? So, almost everyone have a best friend, right? Either your spouse or people outside your marriage, right? And to each his own, because every situation is unique. My take on it is, if I'm not your best friend, well, me and you are best friends.
Yes.
And we also got best
Yep.
friends on the side, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if your spouse or your partner is not your best friend, but if they're not your best friend, they have to be your primary best friend. So you gotta have two best friends, right?
Right.
But there's no way in hell that your best friend on the outside of our relationship knows more than I do. Your partner, your spouse, right? You
Right.
can't, your best friend can't stand up at the podium while you laying there deceased, at your wake or your funeral, and say things that I don't know.
Right. So there
So
shouldn't be any
shouldn't
secrets.
be any deep secrets like that.
Like I have a double life, like our character
Yeah,
Ricardo.
like our character Ricardo.
Ricardo's Collisions. Check that book out. It's really good. It's on audio too, so check it out.
So I need that. I think your spouse, if your spouse is your best friend and you got best friends on the side, your spouse has to be your primary best friend. You got best friends, but it got to be your primary best friend.
I agree. I mean, I think, when you get to that level of intimacy that we have when we've been together for so long, I don't think there should be any level of, like you said, there shouldn't be anything that you don't know that my best friend knows. And if that is the case, then we have a problem in our marriage.
Mm-hmm.
We have a problem in our marriage because that's, that shouldn't be the case where you're having you're compartmentalizing information because you don't want to show or tell your spouse only some things, but not all things. And, that could be very problematic. So I agree with you on that.
And my second take on it is, I think you grow into being a friend or a best friend, just like any other relationship. You grow up with someone, and they become that person, and you become that person for them. I don't think because you automatically dated for like a year or some change, or you're the only person in that your spouse or your partner's life, or you've been married for so long, that you automatically take that position or automatically assume the duties of a best friend. I think that's something that you grow into. You learn each other, your grasp, just like a regular relationship that you would do from kindergarten or whatever case may be.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone that's believed that they should be the best friend because they married to you or they dating you, I think they have to earn that. I think both of y'all have to earn that right to say we're best friends. It just this doesn't come automatically.
Right. I think, yeah, I agree. I don't think it's an automatic thing. You grow into it just like any other relationship. And sometimes, like I was saying on the radio show, there's times where, I know some couples that they're not best friends and they like it like that. It's just fine. It's just fine for them. They don't feel like they need that in their spouse and, or their partner, and their partner's like, no, you could talk to your girlfriends about that. You don't need to talk to me about that. And, it works for them. It works for them. But how do you feel about that? Like if I was just like, oh, I don't want to be your best friend anymore, and I only want to talk to my friend about this and not you. That's
Hey, that's a situation we don't have.
right.
That's a situation where you really have to be like, we don't with my friend no more. This is weird. What did I do not to, it's like a regular friend now, right? Regular best friend. Like what did I do not to deserve being the best friend anymore? Um that you have to go in more details about that before I give an answer of saying, yeah, you're right.
So
We don't have to be best friends
you would
anymore.
feel left out of that, right?
Yeah, I mean, or suddenly you just out the blue, you gotta, you're breaking up with me as a best friend to find someone else or talk to your really best friend. I'm not the primary person anymore. That's a heartbreaking situation for any best friend. You know, but would you have to get rid of your original best friend if your spouse
Mm.
became your your spouse or partner became your best friend? Do you have to get rid of your original best friend? And what the hell do you say to your original best friend that say, "Hey, we can't be best friends no more"? Like, what do you think that situation goes down as?
Well, you and I, okay, I'm gonna answer the first part of that question. Um,
I mean, it could be like that Colin Farrell movie.
that's what I was actually looking. I
Yeah,
was looking that up.
yeah.
I was trying to remember the name of the actual movie for those of you who don't know what we're talking about. There's a movie that came out a couple years ago. It was actually Oscar nominated. It's called The Banshees of Inisherin. Uh, and it's about two lifelong friends, and they find themselves in an impasse because one of them abruptly ends their friendship, their relationship, because they think that the other one is boring.
Hmm.
And Colin Farrell is one of the actors in the movie, and Brendan Gleeson is the other actor, and they just decide, or Brendan's
Well,
character
yeah,
decides he doesn't want to be friends with Colin's character anymore, and it turns very dark.
yeah, and
Yeah, it's a good movie, but we don't want to give it all away.
it's
But it's
crazy
kind of
because
crazy
they
how it
from
ends.
they from this small town, so less than 100 people, I guess,
In
in
Ireland,
Ireland. So
yeah,
off the near the water, so it's like they all they have growing up. They all they have. And this dude start cutting up his fingers, and like every time you speak to me, I'm gonna cut my finger off and
yeah,
throw it at your door, leave it at your door, and he started doing it. So, and some other wild, crazy stuff. But you know, how do you get the? What do you say to the dude? Like like that guy in the movie, like, hey, this is over with. I don't want to be best friends with you no more. And you can't give a great for you to stop being best friend with someone you've been with like decades and all that. You need an outstanding excuse. I
right,
mean, your excuse got to be to a point where you just like, listen, it just can't be. It is what it is, and suck it up, drive on.
right.
And I don't know any, and especially if I ain't doing anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You better be damn well sure of yourself before you introduce this to our relationship where we're not best friends no more.
Right, right. And and so I think your original question to me was what happens when the partner becomes the other partner's best friend. So in our case, we've had that happen. And slowly until my best friend, Natasha, she's out there. Um, she's been my best friend since we were 11 years old. We went on a school trip to DC, and she became my best friend because she gave me some marble cake, and if anyone knows me, that's like one of my favorite cakes. But that's how we bonded over that, and we became best friends. But since then, over 30 years, all right? More than 30 years we've been best friends. And so when me and Eddie got married, me and Eddie, we've been married for 25 years, but when we got married, our relationship sort of changed because I wasn't always telling her everything anymore because some things were just private to me and Eddie. And so we didn't always share, I didn't always share those things. And I think she did feel just a little left out, because I couldn't necessarily talk to her about everything like I used to. It was different when I was just dating him or he was my fiance. But once we became married, there's a different level of intimacy and there's like a husband wife privilege level of information that you don't necessarily share with everyone. So I want to say we just had to learn how to adjust and navigate this new relationship dynamic between the three of us because it kind of became like a triangle in a way, like a relationship triangle.
I think it also depends on the relationships. I heard someone today when I brought it up. Someone asked me about the topic, and I talked to them, and they said they've been with their boyfriend for like 12 years, and they could never have him as a best friend. She needs her best friend on the outside to talk to, because when he acts up, she needs someone to talk to. So it depends on the situation. We didn't have a situation where we was dating or we got married. And I was someone that's out of hand,
Right,
out of
right,
pocket,
right,
or
right,
someone that
right.
I can't control myself, or
Hmm.
we didn't understand the situation we were going. So it's not like you had to jump on the phone and be like, "Hey, girl, he's cheating," or "Hey, girl, he's stabbing someone," or
That's
"Hey, girl,
true.
he's robbing banks."
That's true.
We didn't have that conversation where you had to call someone every day, be like, "Look, let me tell you what's going on," and a lot of people tell you the truth. They want to hear the bad stuff instead of the good stuff. You get a lot of people. I mean, I rather hear the good stuff, but some people get tired of hearing the good stuff and want to hear the real nitty gritty about a marriage or relationship.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's no real dirt of it. It is what it is. You messed up. We argue. We fought. That's it. But there's nothing underneath the surface to be like, let's dig deeper and investigate this dude that you're dating or you're married to.
Right, right.
So
And
it
plus
depends on the situation.
yeah, and I think in our case, she knew you since we were
High school,
14, since
yeah,
high
14 years old,
school.
yeah. So
So, it was just a different dynamic that we all had to learn how to manage. Um, I forgot the other part of your question.
I
I
mean,
think it was
so how did you tell her that? But you never told you're still best friends. So
yeah,
it's not like you had to
yeah,
tell her, look, this ain't gonna work no more.
right,
Eddie's my best friend.
right.
You're out. So you didn't have to go through that.
No, but we had a situation with you like that, where you had a friend that was a female friend.
But it wasn't. She wasn't a best friend though.
She was a close
She was
friend.
a close
She
friend.
was a
So that
close
was an easy
friend.
cut off. Like, look, I'm happily married now, and me and my wife agreed that we can't talk to ex former boyfriends or former girlfriends. So we
Yeah,
had that, and
that's right.
we
She
felt
used to
comfortable with
be his
that.
girlfriend too,
Yeah.
so
And
that
then we
was
became a
different.
friend, but we
Yeah.
felt comfortable with telling other people that, like, no, it's just me and you.
Hmm.
So it's no heartbreak, but she wasn't a best friend.
Right, right. That's true.
So I didn't have to go through that.
But you did have to
Yeah,
navigate.
you have
You
to
had to
set boundaries for people.
navigate
Yeah.
explaining
And
how
and
that
and,
was.
and I think everyone that's happily married or want to be happily married, they have to set boundaries in their situation, right?
Right,
We all got different situations. So I can't tell you, yeah, cut this woman off or cut this man off that you knew for 25 years, and I just entered the picture for 1 year, and you're not even sure that the red flags I'm showing you, I'm stay around for a long time.
right.
So every
Hmm.
situation is different.
Yeah,
We knew each other since high school, since you asked me out.
right. Yes,
So
I did. I asked him out.
yeah, so every situation. But I have a question.
Hmm.
Are you wrong for not being your spouse or your partner best friend? And if your partner wants you to be their best friend, should you try to make an effort doing so, even though if you don't want to or not?
Um, Again, I think it depends on the relationship, the marriage, the relationship, because it maybe again, like the article said, they may not feel that they can be all things. They can't be everything to this person, and we can't speak on that because we both. I think you and I both are kind of um territorial in a way where I think we feel like we do want to be all things to our partner. Not everything, but just, we want to be there. We don't want to not be there for each other. So we have that dynamic, but I think some people may not feel that they can be all of those things. I would love to hear from people out there if you feel that way. If you feel like no, I can't be my partner's best friend. We want to hear from you. So definitely hit us up, DM us, leave some comments in our posts on Lounge and Sundays or on Sledge House Media on this post for the question of the week, and let us know if we're wrong about this. Like maybe there's a piece of this perspective that we're missing. We could be a little biased because we are each other's best friend, in addition to us having our own best friends as well. So
I mean, like I said before, I'm not on anyone's side. If you do, you don't. That's fine.
yeah,
We know where we stand in ours, so every
right,
situation is
right,
different.
right,
So I'm
right.
not in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was to tell you Natasha can't be the best friend anymore, are you obligated to go tell her like, look, Eddie said that I can't be your best friend anymore?
Yeah, so we talked about this on the radio show too, and I have to say, no, I'm not going to cut her off. There has to be some really compelling reason why, you have to explain that to me as to why she's not allowed to be my friend anymore. Maybe there's some, insecurity you may have or jealousy of our relationship. If that was the case, that's not the case for us. But if that was the case for someone else, then I would say you guys need some counseling. You need to talk through what those issues are. Is there some insecurity? Is there, abandonment issues perhaps you never dealt with before? Or, you just had some trauma from past relationships or, something in that vein that you guys need to talk through those issues. So I don't think I should cut my friend off. And now, unless that person is toxic, and there's a real compelling reason why this person is causing me or both of us harm or relationship harm or other people harm, then I would say, okay, yeah, you might be right. Yeah, this person's not good for me. But there's no evidence of any of that, and if it's more of a you issue, like the partner has an issue, then we have to talk about that.
No, it's a good points there. Um, yeah. Luckily, we don't have to deal with that.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
and we just keep going our merry way.
Yeah. So what we didn't talk about was our couch recap. So last week we had a really very unique experience event. We had a partnership with the New York Mets where we received an amazing award from the New York Mets in association with our children's book, which is called A Day Aisha. Definitely check it out. It's a great children's book. It's about Eddie's true story. So Eddie, tell us about A Day Aisha.
Well, A Day of Shade is our first children book. It came from your idea of making it a book from when you read it in our memoir story, Christina and I. When I was 9 years old, I spent the night at a friend's house, and in the morning, back of the cereal box, Frosted Flake cereal box, I saw a ticket, a mission to go to a Met game for one ticket, one person. You get a free ice cream and a helmet, and get a soda. So I asked my friend, and I asked, "Can I take it?" He gave it to me. I cut it out the box, took it. A couple of days later, I cashed some bottles in at the corner store, jumped on some trains and went to Shea Stadium myself, sat in the nosebleed section. And when I was there, I just got the ice cream and the soda, sat with another family. The game was over. I followed everybody back home, and that was it. Close to 30, more than 30 years later, when we wrote the memoir, I put it in my book. I put it on my side of the memoir because our memoir is divided into two sections, her section and my section, because sometimes when you write biographies and anything like that, you think that you know the person what they was thinking, but they don't. So when Christina read it, she was like, "Wow, I didn't know this about you." It was in the back of my mind because I love baseball, and she said it'd be a heartwarming story for a kid. So what I did was she read it and she was like, "I want to make this into a children's book. It's heartwarming." And we made it to a children's book, and we got with partnership with the Mets and the Brooklyn Cyclones, some other organizations trying to get with Kellogg's now because they Frosted Flakes, and yeah, we took it from there and just went to another level.
Yeah, so Kellogg's, if you're out there listening to this podcast, we would love for you to sponsor it. And the story is awesome. Maybe Chris, the character, could be on the cover of Frosted Flakes cereal
Oh,
box
she
one
will.
day.
She will.
And we can bring
She
back
will.
the MLB free ticket giveaway for kids in association with Aisha. You can get a free children's book or something
Well,
one day,
actually,
right?
Kellogg's, I saw today.
Yeah.
Kellogg's have this thing where if you buy a box, you get a free book, 140 different books on the website. Yeah, I
Really?
saw that today. I gotta show it
So
to you
we
later.
need to follow up with that.
Yeah,
Okay. All
different books and
right.
everything. So
Nice.
yeah,
All right. So Kellogg's, if you're out there, hit us up. Maybe you can be a sponsor for our podcast and our radio show.
yeah.
So contact us at sledgehousemedia.com or our email info@sledgehousemedia.com or even hit us up on Instagram or Facebook. Prefer if you email us though. Okay. But we would love to work with you, Frosted Flakes, Kellogg's. Yeah. So that was our recap for our week. And every week we'll
We was on
have
the field.
yes, we were on the
We
field.
always meet the mascot. Matter of fact,
Oh,
it's the second time we've been
yes.
on there.
Yes, yes, yes.
But this is the first time. Well, only time this week. So we was on the field. We met the mascots. We met the. We was on the scoreboard.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we had our family and friends
yep.
there. They got a chance to also be on the field with us. This is actually our second time we did it. The first time we did it, Eddie was the veteran of the game. So check that video out if you want to see it. It's on our YouTube, and I might also include it in the show notes or somewhere so
This
that
was
you
our
can take
freaking
a look
standing
at it.
moment. You got.
Yeah.
I'm looking up. I have 43,000 people just standing ovation for me. And as a veteran, we all as veterans, no one knows you're a veteran until you tell them. So it's a great thing. You see it all the time, and then it's your time to be down there. So there's a lot of hard work behind it. But yeah, that was one outstanding moment. Thank you for the thanks to Mets. Thank you for the New
Yeah,
York
thank
Mets
you,
and
Mets.
Brooklyn Cyclones. 'Cause we did it
Thank
for
you,
the
Brooklyn
Cyclones too.
Cyclones. Yep.
Veteran of the game.
Yep. All of
Got
our
awards and stuff like that. So
yeah, shout out to Jen and Sharon at the New York Mets.
at the
At the
Cyclones,
Brooklyn Cyclones,
and Maddie
and
at the
then
Mets.
Maddie at the Mets. Jenna also at the Mets for all your support. You guys are awesome. So I think
Very awesome. Yep.
yeah, very awesome. So yeah, you can check out the videos and pictures of that on our Instagram or Facebook. So if you want to see that, and then also the veteran of the game, we'll be posting the video of the event. Oh, it's actually on our Instagram, so check that out. But next, we're going to talk about our um.
Outstanding ovation. So our standing ovation spotlight is
Mhm.
where we shine a light on incredible people, organizations, or companies who's making a difference out there in the world and our communities. And you know, a lot of people just go unnoticed, and we all need that one moment, at least more than one moment, but at least one moment where someone say, "Thank you, I see you." So if you bring awareness to us on our social media pages, you might get the chance to shout someone out or get someone spotlight on our show. And right now we have one coming up.
Yeah, so today we are giving a heartfelt round of applause to an extraordinary woman. Her name is Aisha Applewhite, the CEO and founder of AppleCore's Bake Shop. And it isn't just your average bakery. This is a family owned, woman owned, and Black owned gem. Is serving up love in every bite, offering traditional, vegan, and gluten free desserts that make every sweet tooth happy. And let me tell you, that sweet potato cheesecake, it will change your life, right, Eddie?
Yeah, it's dead serious. Yeah.
He loves it. So we'll just make a special just stop just to go there to get the sweet potato cheesecake. So what really truly sets Aisha apart is her heart for the community. She partners with an organization here in Maryland. It's called Grassroots. And that organization supports individuals and families facing housing crises. And what she does is provide a free personalized birthday cake to children living at Grassroots. And that is so dope, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
can
I never had a birthday cake growing up, so yeah.
yeah.
So that is dope.
Yeah. So that, that's really what giving back looks like. And so Aisha, for your selfless act of kindness, that is really what community is all about. For that today, we're giving you a standing ovation.
Yes.
And so, what we call our listeners, you guys are called our loungers because you're lounging with Christina and Eddie. And if you want to support this incredible business, please go ahead and visit AppleCore's Bake Shop. It's in Columbia, Maryland on 6945 Oakland Mills Road, Suite A. Follow her on Instagram at AppleCore's_bakes or check out AppleCoreBakes.com to place an order. We see you and we celebrate you today, Aisha. And if you want to nominate someone for next week's Standing Ovation Spotlight or a future Standing Ovation Spotlight, DM us on IG at Lounge and Sundays and also on Sledge House Media. And you can even email us on info@sledgehousemedia.com and put in the subject line Standing Ovation Spotlight. Okay, so one of the other things that we like to do on this show, as Eddie mentioned, is all about inspiration. And so for our inspirational moment, it's going to be called a vibe reset. And vibe reset is where I kind of give you some words of encouragement, a little pep talk, a little words of affirmation for your week ahead. Our radio show airs on Sundays at between 3 and 5 on Lit 106, which you can stream on Odyssey, Audilus, Apple Music. If you have a Echo device, which I have one right here, so I can't really say it. But if you just say play Lit 106 skill, you can go ahead and listen to us on your smart speaker as well. Live from 3 to 5 on Sunday. So if you're just chilling at home, it also has music. So the podcast is one thing we really can dive deeper into our conversation. But on the radio show, we have music that goes along with our conversation. So that's pretty cool. So check us out there live on Sundays from 3 to 5. All right. So here is your vibe reset for this week. All right, family. This is your weekly reminder that you control your energy. And in just a minute, I'll drop something on your heart to inspire, refocus, and recharge you for the road ahead. So today we're celebrating the little victories, the ones that often go unnoticed. You got out of your bed when it would have been easier to pull the covers back over your head. You showed up for yourself even when the world felt heavy. You kept going when quitting seemed like the easier choice. And here's the truth. Those small wins, they're not small at all. They're building blocks of the big breakthroughs you've been praying for. So clap for yourself right now, even if no one else does. Give yourself credit because you've earned it. Remember, energy flows where appreciation goes. The more you honor your progress, the more momentum you create. So keep stacking those wins, keep showing up, and keep those good vibes rolling into your week. So come join us every week to kickstart your week off right with inspiration and positive vibes. And this was our first episode of our podcast. It's also the first episode of our radio show. So we are like super excited that we got a chance to share all of this with you. And we want you to continue to come back. Listen to us live on Lit 106 on Sundays from 3 to 5, and then also here on our podcast, wherever you listen to your podcast.
Yeah, we want to thank everyone that's been with us on this journey. You know, Sledge House Media is 4 years going strong. You know, everyone supported us or helped us get on their podcasts, their radio stations, their TV shows, the ones behind the scenes, the friends, the people that buy our books, continue to buy our books, just giving us love. We really appreciate it. Trust me, we really appreciate it. And like I said, this show's about inspiration. And you know, if we could get you on this show and you're doing something positive now, do something positive.
Right, only positivity.
You know, we'll try to get you in a spot when and we keep rolling from there.
Yeah, and on that vein, we give a special shout out to um, Jason and Tina Marie. They have a podcast, so check them out. It's called Love and Beyond the I Do podcast, Legendary Relationships. They're a great couple. And one day we're going to have them on our show as well and do an interview for you guys. They're an awesome couple based out of Chicago. So they're like family to us now. So shout outs to Jason and Tina Marie. You guys inspired us to finally do our podcast. So thank you guys. And thank you all. We'll see you next week. And if it's Sundays, remember you're lounging with Christina and Eddie.
Wisconsin with Christina and Eddie. They're in the right place. Where inspiration meets real conversation. Lounging with Christina and Eddie. Love, laughter, keep it steady. 25 years still vibing strong. Feeling like you finally belong. From relationship gems to real life wins that bring a soul and spirit with every spin. Award-winning voices, storytellers at heart. With Sledge House Media making magic as an art. So unwind up, live, set your week off right. Lit one, ghost and shine that light. Lit one, ghost and shine that light. With your favorite